In this Sailing Doodles, we show you our life on lockdown in the U.S. Virgin Islands. This season of Sailing Doodles features Bobby, Taylor, and Punky as we set sail for the Caribbean in our 1989 CT-56. This channel is made possible by our patrons. Thank you so much. In the previous video, we left the main island of St. Thomas and headed around over to Livongo Key, where we had some great times in the water. All right, Punky's been out working for a living. She's got some lunch.
Lunch and dinner.
Yeah, there you go.
I think I'm gonna need some gloves if anybody wants to hook it up.
Yeah, we've been scratches.
Yeah.
She hunted and caught him. She's quite the hunter. Watch out, guys. Well, our nice and serene anchorage has gotten a little choppy out there. Testament to this boat, how big it is and how heavy it is, because I was down here editing and it doesn't feel like it at all in the boat, but it is getting a rolly out there. Oh, here, she's not wearing pants. So I think I'll not show her. But so yesterday when we were snorkeling, I noticed that our anchor chain was around a rock, and I just left it there because, hey, it gives us extra security. But now that we're gonna move, I'm gonna go snorkel on it to make sure it's not fouled up still. Alright, the anchor is clear, but the current's already turned. The current's already going that way. The only thing keeping us pointing that way, this way, is the wind right now, but it's about to get real squirrely, so we need to hurry and move before the current makes us turn sideways and then it gets all weird. So we need to go, Taylor. It was a short hop over to St. John and Conneal Bay. Alright, well, they've started charging again for the moorings, so I need to go. Normally you would just go to this little pay station right there. It's literally right there. But they're not doing that right now. We actually have to go to the main park office, which is around the bay over at Cruise Bay, which would be a dinghy ride. It's a little windy out here. Hopefully it's not too wet of a dinghy ride. But gonna go do that. They're getting pretty... I was just texting with some of the people in the group out here. They're threatening to kick everybody off the moorings because people are still going to the beach occasionally. I didn't see anybody going. It's just dumb. There's a lot of politics going on. A lot of the locals are kind of unhappy that we get to be out here and look like we're still having fun, you know. Which, what are we gonna do? So anyway, I'm gonna go. First, I gotta put fuel in the dinghy because I don't want to get stranded. All right, so I got the number off the ball, number 192. Now I go to the bay and I tell them my number, boat name, and all that, how many days I want to stay, and it's $26 a night. This is Cruise Bay. It's the park service, and they got a little thing here where you sign up because they want to do it inside. So I'll go do it now. All right. So basically, it's the same as you do on a normal thing. They just you fill out the form, you put your credit card information on there, and then you put it in the iron box. They just wanted a little more information about us. You know, they got my email, name, you know, and then they gave us this little floaty thing so that they can actually just go right by and see that we paid. So basically, we put this on the mooring. And so anytime they go by, they see, okay, that's CN192, they're paid until X amount of date. So I'll go back and put this on the mooring, and then I paid for 6 nights. So it was $156 for 6 nights. Not exactly sure what that is, but hey. Attach the little buoy there to our bow, and we're good to go. Show them we're paid.
How do you like it?
America! Woo!
Cigar, cowboy hat, floating off the back. Doesn't beat that.
This is quarantine doodle style. Stay 6 feet away. All right, so our water tank is about one of our water tanks about 3/4 empty. It's been about a week since we filled up water. So I figure I'm gonna go ahead and make water using our new Watermaker. So basically the way I have a little tank system here, and what it does basically is you pressurize the tank and it tells you how much is still in it. And I got a little mark here, so that's full, 4/5, 3/5, 2/5, 1/5 empty, right? And then so like right now the water tank is, so it's just a little bit, it's about a little bit over a fifth full, so might as well fill it up now. I switched tanks to the other tank, so the boat will be using the other tank now, and I'll fill this tank up. All right, first thing I've done here is started our generator, so we're supplying power, and it should be good to go there. So the generator produces 110 that goes out into the inverter charger, which charges the batteries, and then, you know, it's got an inverter which goes out 110 through the rest of the boat. But there are some direct connections from the generator directly output 110 to like the washing machine and the dryer. That's the way I'd prefer to have it plugged in, instead of running the Watermaker through the inverter, just because that puts extra strain on the inverter because it takes like 1300 watts. But getting at that access is not the easiest right now, so I'm going to try it just running it through the inverter. Hopefully the inverter can handle that. I think it can. If it trips, then I'll just have to rewire it. So have to deal with that for now. And another thing is that fill lines for the old Watermaker were a lot narrower than this, so they wouldn't meet up. And I don't have adapters, so basically I've just run, for right now I have a line going into the fill side of the water tanks over here. That won't be a permanent solution. I'll normally plumb it back in when I get some adapters, but current situation trying to find those parts is pretty difficult. All right, the next thing I want to do is pull out my water bypass. So basically this is the product water, and you know the water will have sat in the Watermaker for 5-6 days, and so you don't want to put that into your tank. So I have a little bypass here, so I'm going to go here, and then that way I can test the water before I turn the valve to fill my tanks. So basically I'm just going to turn the power on to it. Here it came on. I'm going to check the outflow, make sure it's punching water out. And then basically I'm just going to increase the pressure till it's in its operating range, and then it should be making water. And just as I feared, it tripped off the inverter charger. So I'm gonna have to wire this into the 110 system. All right, so now what I gotta do is I gotta wire it into the generator's output instead of the inverter's output, which it's just finding that wiring is a problem. And then I'd have to, the best way to do it would be to run a new line from the Watermaker back to the panel. I don't have enough of the electrical line to do that, because you need special, you don't wanna use household wiring, because household wiring has solid core, right? And so it flexes, it'll eventually break. You need marine quality electrical cable, which is made to flex. So I don't have any of that, and would need to get some, but right next to that is the dryer. So I'm just gonna, and it's a 110 dryer, not the 220. And so I'm going to wire that into that, then just make sure the dryer's off, and so then I can control the Watermaker from the dryer breaker. And eventually I will change it to its own breaker. All right, so let's try it again. The dryer is off, so I'll turn the dryer outlet on. Nothing's working. Maybe it popped the breaker on the unit itself a minute ago. Got power there. Turn the dryer on. All right, now it's running. I will increase the pressure. See, oh, I got a little drip there. All right, so I got the fitting tightened down. It's no longer dripping, so I'm gonna increase the pressure. Alright, so this is the product water. Basically, I'm just gonna taste it, make sure it's good. Tastes like high quality H2O, so now I go over here, flip the valve, and it should start filling the tanks. I have a little drip on a fitting. I just need to tighten it up, I'm sure. I didn't want to over tighten it, I didn't want to strip stuff out. But now I'll check to make sure it's filling the water tanks, and we should be good to go. Well, there we go, 36 gallons an hour making water. So, rainmandesal.com if you want one. It took, like I said, it took me about 6-8 hours to install. Granted, I already had the through holes and stuff from a previous Watermaker, but simple to work, really nice.
Well, the day has finally come. You might remember way back in the very beginning where I mentioned how often the front storage locker gets cluttered and disorganized. I was always trying to reorganize it, but we're always fixing something and pulling something out, so it never worked. But today we're reorganizing the front storage locker.
It's about time, but here, let me take you up front and show you what we've done so far. All right, so we've already pulled everything out of here and cleaned it, and we've actually started putting stuff back in here. But you can see this, I can't believe somebody actually used to live, like this used to be a captain's cabin, right? So this was your bed. So if this was a charter boat back in the day, or maybe back in the day when, because this would have been, in today's money, brand new, this boat would have gone for over $1 million, like 1.4 or something like that. So they would have had a professional captain right here, and this would be his little domain. I wouldn't want it, but it's pretty, you know, hey. But now it's our storage unit. So there's been a lot of modifications over the years to this too. So this used to be another bunk right here, but they made this a chain locker because they added a second chain. This used to be the primary chain locker, now it's storage. And then of course, this is the charger for the bow thruster. The bow thruster lives under here. So a lot of this storage space has been taken up by new components like bow thrusters and chain lockers and stuff like that. Water tanks are full, so we've shut that off. We're about to shut down the generator, and we're still cleaning up here. We've almost got it done here. It's looking good. Alright, so I finished making water, and now I just hit the flush button on there. It's got an automatic. It would have done it automatically in a few days. But it's good practice when you're done with your Watermaker just to flush the system, so that's what I did. I hit the flush button, and now it's flushing fresh water through the whole system so that salt water does not sit in the system, which just keeps everything a lot cleaner and keeps it from smelling bad, and it makes it better for next time. So water is made. We're good to go. Also did a lot of organizing there. We were able to move our scooters because we organized the front storage locker so well that we moved the scooters forward. It still looks a little cluttered there, but believe me, it's a lot better than what it was. And now if I need to get something, I maybe have to move one thing out of the way and I can get at it, which is really nice. So one day of going stir crazy with nothing to do, down. Maybe tomorrow we'll work on polishing some stainless or taking care of some teak, something like that, I don't know. Nothing better to do. So with the lockdown and everything, you know, there's lots of businesses around kind of do little stuff to, you know, pick up the slack because they're not allowed to work. So cruisers generate trash, right? You know, if we're doing a long cruise, we'd minimize it, but you know, a bag of trash every 3 or 4 days or something like that. So there is a boat that comes around and picks up the trash. They charge $5 a bag. So we'll see them in a minute. The coronavirus and all that, all the barber shops are closed down, and I am in desperate need of a haircut. So last time I had somebody cut my hair, things went horribly wrong. Whoa. Oh, Laura, what the
I've never cut hair before!
I said clean it up.
I don't know what that means. Clean it up!
Clean it up, not shave my head.
I won't do that bad of a job. I'll try.
So we'll see how this happens. Day 20 something quarantine boat haircut. All right, so yeah, it looks good. Good job. No major mess ups or anything. Thank you.
Cheers.